Hi everybody, Judy here. Today we're talking about dates, and I have a list of tips and ideas that are known to work well with dates. And so if you're looking for some new ideas, need a few tips along the way, hopefully this will help you out. This list is very long. There's a lot that we can do with dates. And so I've split the list up into two parts. This is part 2. I have a link to part 1 video below. Make sure you check that out as well so you can view this entire list and hopefully get some help that you need in the kitchen regarding dates. Try using dates to sweeten sauces, marinades, salad dressings, and even your morning oatmeal. Yum! For a really simple treat or a dessert, just combine some orange slices and chopped dates in a bowl. Sprinkle it with some toasted almond slices and enjoy. How about a delicious chocolate date smoothie? Blend 2 dates with 1 cup of milk of your choice. Any milk will do. Blend until the dates are well broken up and incorporated into the milk. Now a medjool date is going to blend a little better than your deglet noir dates, just letting you know. Add 1 frozen banana after that date has been blended well, 1 tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder, and 1 tablespoon of nut butter of your choice. Add a pinch of cinnamon and blend it until smooth and enjoy. Since dates are very sticky, and we know that they make great binders in baked goods like cookies, bars, and energy balls or bites. So if you need some sort of a binder that can take the sweetness, that needs the sweetness of the dates, remember dates to use. Now if your dates have been in the refrigerator for a while and they've gotten hard and dry, you can soak them in some hot water briefly, no more than 5 minutes, and they'll soften up and they can be used in a number of ways from there. And that soaking water will be somewhat sweet. Some of the sugar from the dates is going to leach out into that water. So don't just toss it out. Use that water in something that calls for a little extra sweetener, and that will do the trick for you. So you get a 2-for-1 out of that. Now if you need a liquid sweetener, why not make some date syrup? It's not hard to do. You can finely chop 1 pound of medjool dates. Now this is taking quite a bit, and if you want to cut it down from there, you can do that. Simmer the chopped dates in 4 cups of water for a half hour. Remove the pan from the heat and just allow the mixture to cool for another 30 minutes. Then transfer that mixture to a blender or a food processor and process it until it's very, very smooth. At least a minute. You want it to be going at least for that length of time. Then you want to strain it in a nut milk bag or several layers of cheesecloth. Twist that really tight so you can remove as much of the liquid as you possibly can. And then taste that liquid and see if it's as sweet as you want it to be. If it's not as sweet as you want it, put it back on the stove over a medium heat and just allow it to simmer for about 30 minutes. And this is so it can reduce and get some of that water down out of there, but the liquid, the sugar will stay in there and it will become a little more concentrated as it simmers and the water is reduced. Then when the desired amount of sweetness has been achieved through reduction there, then just take it off the heat, allow it to cool, and store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator, and be sure to use it within just a few weeks. So if you want a liquid sweetener that you make yourself, date syrup is not hard to do. It takes a little time, yes, a little effort, yes, but it's well worth it. Now if you need a date paste for a recipe and you don't have any, you could make your own. Just place some medjool dates in a food processor and process them until they're smooth. Store any of the extra date paste in an airtight container in the refrigerator and make sure you use it within a couple weeks. The key on this one is the medjool dates. You want to use those because they are softer and they'll break down easier than the deglet noir dates. Those are on the tougher, little drier side, so you want the medjool dates if you're going to make date paste. Date sugar is now available in a lot of grocery stores. All it is simply finely ground up dried dates, and they usually use the deglet noir dates for the date sugar. And if you're looking for a natural sweetener to use in place of processed sugar, this may do the job for you. And it'll have a little bit of a caramel-like flavor that'll add to foods. Now, you want to bear in mind that date sugar is nothing more than ground up dates. Again, usually deglet nor dates. They're not going to dissolve completely like processed granulated sugar would dissolve. So they may actually add a little bit of grit to a liquid if that's what you want, like to add it to coffee or hot tea or something. There may be some grittiness that sinks down to the bottom of that liquid. So bear that in mind. Another point about the sugar, date sugar is not the same thing as date palm sugar or palm sugar. Date, palm sugar, and palm sugar are made in a similar way as cane sugar. The tree sap from the date palm tree is boiled down until the sap is dry and crystallized. It will not have the same nutritional benefits as date sugar, which is just ground up dates. Now, we know that dates can be very, very sticky. And if you want to chop them and avoid everything sticking to the knife and having all that gooiness that you have to mess with, you can either spray the knife with some non-stick cooking spray or take a paper towel and put some oil on it. It could be coconut oil or whatever oil you have that you want to use, but coconut oil would work very well. And rub that paper towel onto the knife. You want to get a little bit of that oil on the knife, and then you can cut your dates up, and that little bit of oil on there will help to keep the sticky dates from sticking to that knife, and you'll have an easier time that way. Now, you may need to re-oil the knife as you go if you're chopping a lot of them, but it should do the trick for you. Again, this is part 2 in a 2-part series, so check below for the link for the part 1 video if you haven't seen it. This is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. I hope this helps. Bye for now.